The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. This defense for the Bears, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And this will be a Falcons first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40. The Falcons at 1-3 here in the early part of the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down.
That was a good illustration of setting the edge as a defensive end, being able to make sure that you stay on your feet no matter what type of block, and you're not going to get pushed inside. Stayed home, skated to the outside, and made the play.
So a nightmare start to the drive as they're already staring at 2nd and long. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now it's Rodgers. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. A little too amped up there, got to him before he had a chance to catch him.
Another example of players in tough spots getting the protection that they deserve. Got to make sure that he's able to catch the ball before you get to him.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on fourth down with a penalty. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. Fields to Kmet there for his Chicago first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. 1st down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. On 1st down, Fields. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 36. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Kamara up the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter. They'll make that a 2nd sack here. The first drive out defensively, and he'll get ahead of themselves. But pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
They're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner.
Every time I look at the screen and the Chargers come across 4-0, it makes me sick.
You didn't jinx him.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On play action, Rodgers. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Fields now to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is straight off from his hands, and luckily his teammate was there to pounce it.
Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You don't have to worry to talk about the combine. Why do we measure quarterbacks' hands? Is that really a big deal? As for situations like this, do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big game there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Pass incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step, and if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Back to throw, Fields. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and that will keep this a 3-point game.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3, and this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Just can't connect on anything offensively so far.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and it stopped him just short.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Corey Bojorquez now. only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Play action. It's Rodgers. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this 2nd quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown.
Coaches preach all the time about opportunities and taking advantage of them, and he did exactly that. I used to have a coach tell us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track? And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And the return will stop right around the 25. So really a nightmare.
What the actual fuck?
Charles, his 2nd lost fumble already.
And when they hand us a stat sheet, Brandon, and we see 2 lost fumbles, we usually think quarterback or running back, don't we? It's not often you see guys on the perimeter lose the ball like that.
Following the fumble recovery, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
2nd down and 3. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Fields on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Justin Fields with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers and quickly.
The drive will start with an option going left. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. On the counter, here's Kamara. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Kamara, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Alvin Kamara, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Here's Bass now for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick six, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this.
Well, this one's pretty much fucking over. Madden gave this game away for me. How the fuck do you get like 3 fumbles right with my back to the end zone? This fucking game.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And in a spot like this, no more than a minute. I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. That second down play nets a -4. Right now in the second quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. Fielded just outside the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Fields. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Now the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the 2nd half. They have to do what precious few. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. So Tyler Bass on now for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Bass is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance, but in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll work down inside the 45. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the 3rd quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the 3rd quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after it.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Throwing is Rodgers. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
4th down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. Koo knocks this one through the post. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out. So it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there. You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. And they're at least trying to finish out strong. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 69 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. Well, they know they've got a good starter. Now the guy coming in to spell him shows he can run it pretty good as well.
And I think he appreciates the starter, wearing people down, tiring them out a little bit. He took full advantage, didn't he? Came in with fresh legs and carried the ball.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Montgomery on the counter. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll run with Montgomery. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Kari Blossomgame, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
On play action, now Rodgers. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. On the move past the 40. And he'll go down the middle before getting us inside the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. 38 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Bears will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 43 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he's across the 45. It'll be second down. The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the first down against our defense by that decision.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
Well, if you can hear me, good game. It's just disappointing that this game fucked me like that. Technically, I should be sitting at 3-2 after this, but, you know, last 2 weeks I couldn't put up a field goal to either tie or win the game, so here we sit, getting blown out 41-3. After Madden gift wraps you a game, basically, but that ain't your fault. I mean, would have been nice to see what it would have been like without Madden getting involved, but it is what it is. Good game, man.
And they take a knee. The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. And they'll indeed take a knee.